Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, welcome. Happy season 14. How you feeling?
Steven, Chike, I'm feeling great. Happy season 14 to you both as well.
We talked about in
Thank
the
you,
Hot
sir.
Topic segment about New Year's resolutions and things like that. Do you have New Year's resolutions?
I guess so. Yeah, I do try to pick something every once in a while out. This year, I've told myself, no matter what other exercises I do throughout the day, I did these. There's this like 20-minute yoga for like beginners YouTube channel I look at. So that's my goal, is like at least a few times a week doing that when I wake up in the morning, and then again I can do my other exercises throughout the day, but at least that's my bare minimum of just starting to do a little more of those kind of yoga routines. So
Nice.
halfway, I'm at 50%
Okay.
compliance so far, but I'm getting there. The snow came and that really threw off my whole plan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yoga you do it in the house right now. So, yeah, but
Not the how
whatever,
I do it, not how
whatever
I do
works.
it.
Whatever works.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, listen, I'll let y'all take it away with movie reviews.
Yeah, sure thing. So, I won't delay us too long with a bunch of other things, but a couple of things I want to mention over the holidays that I saw was the first one was called The Holdovers, and this is a Paul Giamatti movie that came out around Christmas, and it's a story about a kind of curmudgeonly school teacher at this boarding school in New England, and he has to watch over these kids that aren't leaving for the holiday. They're stuck there for whatever reasons, and during this time, which it takes place in 1970, he starts to kind of connect with one of the students. In addition to the head cafeteria woman who just lost her son in Vietnam. And so it's really one of those stories that kind of, I hate to call it Oscar baited, a little Oscar baity movie, but it's really kind of just a story about people and living up to your potential and who you really are and things like that. But I really liked it. It's a good movie. So I mentioned Paul Giamatti. This is a movie he did with Alexander Payne, and if you don't remember that name, he's a director that did Sideways with Paul Giamatti. So it's kind of like them and coming back together and doing a good movie, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a lot of heart. It's a lot of discussions. The shots are well done. It's snowing in New England throughout this whole time period, so it's got a lot of good scenic uh, views and things like that. I don't know if I mean, I have a feeling it'll be nominated. I know nominations are coming out soon. I don't think it'll win maybe anything. But Giamatti does a great job. I really like him in this role, so he might get a nod there or even close to winning. But yeah, it's a really fun one. And bonus thing is they put it out in the theaters, but if you have Peacock, it's already streaming on there, so you can watch the whole film without leaving your house. And then the next thing I saw, so this is a new thing, and again, this is actually a Hulu release, kind of released in the theater for like a day, but it's called Self-Reliance. And this stars Jake Johnson, who we know from New Girl, as one of the main characters, and he plays this lonely guy that gets recruited to this dark web contest. And what he has to do is he has to survive 30 days, and if he does while being hunted, then he'll get $1 million. So he decides to sign up, and there's a caveat that if he's around anyone else that's around him at the time, he cannot be killed. He cannot be hunted. So that's one of the rules of the game, is he will be hunted, but if he's around someone, the hunters cannot hunt him. So this proceeds into him trying to stay alive, but also convince his friends and family, because no one believes this is real. They hear about this in one of the scenes, and this is in the trailer. Andy Samberg picks him up in a limo, so he's telling his family that, oh yeah, Andy Samberg picked me up in this limo, and he told me about this dark web game. No one believes him, and so he has to survive 30 days during this whole time period. What I'll say is it's fine. It's billed as a comedy, it's less of a comedy than I thought it would be. It's really more of kind of a introspect onto someone's mental state. And like, at the end, without too much spoilers, he's starting to think, is this really happening? Am I imagining things, or is this really going to happen? And so it's really kind of a kind of a good look into someone who has that maybe ability to kind of communicate, but like still being a little unbelievable. And is reality real or is it not? So it's a fun movie. Had no problems with it, except for I thought it would be funnier than it was. But yeah, it's you can watch that on Hulu. Again, not a comedy, not a lighthearted film at all, but really good job done by Jake Johnson, who also wrote and directed the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And then besides that, I got to catch up on shows. I've been watching I caught up on Poker Face that came out last, spring. Really good show, Natasha Lyonne detective show. And then I know Chike, you're going to start talking about a couple of things, but I am looking forward to True Detective. I know that just started,
Mm.
just kicked off, so I'm excited about that coming up.
Yeah. So the first film that I saw was Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, which stars Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Lily Gladstone. And this film is based off of a book under the same name, and it's about the 1920s Oklahoma Osage tribe and how Caucasian men were intermarrying into the tribe to gain access to the assets of the tribe members. So basically, what would happen is they would marry a female, then mysteriously, sometime into the marriage, not that long into the marriage, the wife will wind up dead. And then the husband acquires the assets left over, from his wife. So basically, they found a legal way to rob people of their fortune. And this movie, I mean, it's Martin Scorsese, probably, Martin Scorsese at his best, but when is he not at his best? Martin Scorsese just does it. He has it. And this film does not disappoint. Of course, Leonardo and Robert De Niro head to head in a film together is perfection.
Hmm.
This gets an A+ for me. It's on Apple Plus. You can check it out. And um, it is a real life happening. These are historical incidents that have happened. And if you would just research, the Osage tribe in Oklahoma back in the 20s, you'll see the horrific newsreels and the news stories because I looked some of them up. Horrible,
Hmm.
horrible. The tragedy of and the criminality of things that they were doing to these people just for the sake of material things, land, homes, oils. Horrible, 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 horrible. But this isn't a racist country, so I'm gonna move on. The
Quick
next,
question. What about the length? 3.5 hours. Did you
oh
feel
yeah,
it?
I was fine with it. I was because
Okay.
the content
Yes.
is heavy and it's deep, and it's really like it's like you're watching the detective do the work that you already know the answer to,
Ah, okay.
and
Nice.
you're trying to see how they're going to figure it out. It's
Mm.
really interesting.
Okay, perfect.
Um, I smell Oscar. I'm gonna say that. The next film that I saw is called The Passenger, and it stars Kyle Gallner and John. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Birchtold, and Liza Wheel. So basically, how I see it is this is a snapshot of someone having a psychotic break, and we get to go along for the ride. Um, this man just snaps. He has a moment. He snaps, and he goes on this car ride with another gentleman. I don't want to give too much of the story away because part of what happens between them in their journey after the psychotic snap is the meat of the movie. And basically, the one with the psychotic issues, can I say that? Because I don't want to give away the story. The one with the psychotic issues is trying to work out his issues through the other person, and it's not going so well. So I urge you to check it out. It's an excellent movie. There's even some blood and guts in there for you, some gross stuff if you're into that. But definitely check it out, and that's on Amazon Prime. What am I? Oh, the next thing, I'll save True Detective for last. The next
Okay.
thing is a nice, I'm gonna call this a cute little movie. It's a nice little happy, cute movie called Jules, which stars Ben Kingsley, Jane Curtin, and Harriet Sampson Harris, and Jade Kwan as Jules. And Jules is basically about a alien that crash lands on Earth, and all of the interworkings that happen around the discovery of the alien by Mr. Ben Kingsley and his two friends, which is Jane Curtin and Harriet Harris. And they're all senior citizens. This film is based in senior world. It's about senior citizen issues. It's about respect of senior citizens. It's about early onset dementia. It's about Alzheimer's, and it's about quality of life. But it's all in this package of extraterrestrial. I
Interesting.
found this movie to be very touching. I found it to be warm. Those are the words that I use to describe it. It's a very warm film. I think people will be touched when they watch it. I do highly recommend it. It's a nice, good, and it's a family movie too. It has nice, funny moments in it. So definitely check it out. The uh, uh, the younger people may not get the content as it relates to um, the mental acuteness and family members wanting to assert themselves, but the adults will get it. But they will have fun with the alien part. So definitely check
Nice.
that out. And so here we are at True Detective, which is the what, fourth installment.
Hmm.
What I love about True Detective, before we get into the story at all, what I love is every episode or every season, I should say. Of course, this is a Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey project. They're the executive directors. But whatever talent that they have come on, I think that they bring something from their arsenal to the project because every one of them have been executive producers as well. So it's like the canvas is there. Bring your paints because we're going to play. And True Detective Night Country stars Jodie Foster and Callie Reyes. I love Jodie Foster as an actor. I always have ever since she was a little girl. I love her as an actress. And she doesn't disappoint. We're two episodes in. It's a detective story, but it has a dark twist to it, which you can't quite get because again, it's a detective story, so we're still trying to figure it out. But the intensity is there, and one of the things that I'm looking forward to from Max programming is what we found in uh, what's the show that we watched last season, Adam? That was based. I can't think of the name of it. It was based off of the video game
Oh,
Last
Last
of
of
Us.
Us. Yeah.
Yes, the quality of that show is what I'm looking for from all of these HBO shows or Max streaming shows from now on. True Detective has that. Every episode,
Nice.
it's jarring me or shaking me at some point, and that's what I want. So yeah, I mean, I'm all in. Adam, I think you're gonna like it. Once you start watching it, I highly recommend.
Nice. I'm psyched.
Steven, you see
And
anything?
I did. And so I started watching this series on Prime called Reacher. And
Mm.
I binge watched the first season, and then I'm on like episode 4 of the second season. But the first season, he ends up in the main character, Reacher, he ends up in a small town in Georgia outside of Atlanta, and he pretty much helps them solve some murders that have been going on in the community. And
Mm.
so, of course, there's a love interest with one of the local deputies, but he ended up moving on. He's not someone, he doesn't stay anywhere long. He doesn't have a residence. He's just a nomad. And so now he's in a more progressive area I can't tell what city it is, but I don't think it's in Georgia. But he's second season, and it's again the violence, the shooting, but you can tell they came back with a bigger budget for season two.
So I have a question because I saw the movie. It's been a while since I saw the movie, and it was Tom Cruise as Reacher in the movie. Is Reacher on the run? He's like perpetually on the run, right?
I won't even say he's on the run, but he's always on the move. So like he doesn't like
Okay.
again, he doesn't live anywhere. He doesn't have an address, but he's
Like so
always
basically not necessarily on the run, but off the
right.
grid. Like he doesn't want
Yeah,
to be found.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Now, did the series pick up where the movie left off? Do you
I didn't see
know
the
if
movie.
that's okay? All
But
right.
I will say this: it's interesting you say that because when I was looking for it, because I was watching it at a friend's house, and when I
Mm-hmm.
came home to watch it, I went on Prime and Tom Cruise came up. So I was like, oh, now I'm looking for the show. But yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for me. Anything coming down the pipeline? I know it's award season. What are your thoughts on all this?
Uh, well, we'll see with the Oscar stuff. But the only thing on my radar, and this is a movie that they've been promoting in theaters probably for the past 6 months. So I hope it's good and it's not just over marketing. But Argyle, this is the one where
Mm.
Sam Rockwell plays. Basically, Bryce Dallas Howard is like a writer for a spy novel series, but she wrote something that may have be true, and so now, like Sam Rockwell plays the real life spy that's recruiting her to the CIA. Big star, all star cast. It looks like a fun, silly movie.
Mm,
But that's the only thing and that comes out on Groundhog Day that's on my radar at the moment. Again, everything else is kind of at a lull waiting for
mhm.
all the awards.
Yeah. Chike?
Um, DC Comics just released a full-length feature animation. I can't think of the name of it now. It's I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's brand new. I'll be checking that out this week. And of course, I'll have the name for you when I review it.
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you as always. Great to be back. Thank you for letting us know what to spend our time, money on, what not. And we'll come back. We'll be right back after this.